You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, we're back in studio. Criminal defense attorney Anthony Rickman joining us as well. We're going to talk a little bit about these flock cameras, the big debate there. We'll probably get into the Mondani, Marks Donnie, I like to call him, up in New York, his second home tax, pierre-to-terre tax. And we'll get into more of that as well. Anthony, give us a little teaser what you want us to get into today, my friend.
Yeah, look, flock cameras, AI. I mean, I want to talk about people using AI to get legal advice, ask questions. I can tell you prosecutors are using AI against people. So be careful what you're looking for on the internet. Flock camera is a form of AI. We'll talk about that. But also, what you're putting on your phones can and will be used against you. So not just what you say to police, but also what you look on your phones.
What you look at, what you search, what you post, all of that is going to be used against you. And it's a crazy world we live in, man. The future is here, and it's full of robots. You got robots and all kinds of flock cameras everywhere and drones, surveillance state. That's what I'm in fear of, is just turning into a China with a surveillance state, Violent crime rates have dropped, too. Homicides are down 17% in the U.S. biggest cities, 16%. Robberies are down. Rapes are down 6.2%. Aggravated assaults. And a lot of that's due to President Trump and his administration and the crackdown that we should have had during the Biden administration. But, of course, they let it run free.
Yeah. Look, crime's down, but it's still happening. Yeah. I mean, it's still happening, and law enforcement's doing the best they can with what they have.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about more of those topics here coming up as well. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air. We've got a beautiful commercial property here at 100 East Shell Point Road in Ruskin. It's a large building, 6,700 square feet building in Ruskin, Florida. It's 6,700 square feet, half-acre lot, plenty of parking, two-story commercial property. We sell vacant land, residential and commercial. This one is a large parking area behind the building, plus front office space, parking spaces as well. It's a one-of-a-kind opportunity that is a rare gem in Ruskin's landscape. Numerous opportunities, residential, retail, office space, creative studios, galleries, mixed-use concepts. Check out 100 East Shell Point Road in Ruskin, another great listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we also have a condo for sale. Actually, let's look at the Ocala land, 4925 North US Highway 441. In Ocala, 8 acres of land, recently price reduced, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2236 square feet. Great opportunity because you've got 5.3 acres that are zone B4 commercial with frontage on US Highway 441, offering endless business opportunities, including retail, light distribution, light manufacturing, storage, automotive, and more. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com. Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue. I also have a clip, too, about moving out of the left lane. There's been a crackdown lately on driving slow in the fast lane. So
finally.
I've got a clip on that I'm going to play, and I got a little musical hit I'm going to hit on that too. But Anthony Rickman back in studio with us, and I know you've been super slammed.
It's been a while. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I keep trying to get you scheduled, and I know you're in court. You got depots. You're doing a lot of that kind of thing.
A busy defense lawyer is a good defense lawyer.
That's right, man.
That's what I say. I mean,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
things are good.
There's some interesting cases too going on. I know my wife has been watching a lot of that.
Look, Tupac trial.
Tupac came back.
You guys are watching that.
30 years old.
I thought you were going to intro us with some California Love or something.
Yeah, exactly. We could have did that. Yeah, the Clancy, I guess that one's too. They're using the defense of, all these doctors, mismanagement. I haven't followed real closely, but, all the drugs that they throw at people these days. Here's a pill for that. Here's a pill for this. I get my billing, and I'm good about it.
I was watching that today, and I was shocked at the support that this woman's getting for killing her kids.
I was too.
I mean, it's called what it is. I mean, she murdered her children. And,
yes.
And there's, women out there wearing pink, like cheering her on. I'm a defense attorney. I get it, but come on.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
I don't get it.
And I haven't followed it very closely, but my opinion is, she killed her kids, and the victims need justice, and what is justice in this case? But I also understand, because I've had Kevin Sorbo on our show. I've got a friend, Andrew Tebow, that's done documentaries. He's got one about the FSU shooter that's on Amazon right now. It's called Speed Demons right now. but he's a producer, and it's a lot about the pharmaceutical industry and how evil they can be. You know?
Without a doubt. Look, the drugs are causing issues. The drugs are really contributing to a lot of the criminality. But at the end of the day, this woman killed her children.
Exactly.
She's no hero.
And what's the Bible say about that? That thou should, if you shed blood, man's blood, then by man your blood shall be shed. I mean, it's pretty clear, and it's the only one that's in the first 5 books of the Bible. You know, the Torah, the first 5 books. It's in every single one that says that if you kill, you will be, you should be killed by man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I stand on that one, but I don't know all the details on it. But let's talk about this flock camera thing. Here's a quick clip I wanted to get to because it's kind of interesting when people are getting pulled over now, and if there's 1 digit off on the license plate, you know, they could be treated as a hostile. So here's a quick clip.
Your license plate is registered as stolen license plates in our system.
Are you serious?
Dozens of drivers nationwide say they're being unfairly pulled over, some even at gunpoint.
Keep your hands above your head.
Due to alleged misuse of Flock Safety's license plate reader.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, look, we're relying on computers
Yep.
to make the decision, and it's giving officers now this alleged probable cause to stop cars, and it's opening the door now to law enforcement pulling you out of your car, searching your vehicle, making arrests, and leading to all these civil rights issues. And, you know, we talk about the stops, but also now we're living in a police state, a nanny state, where you have these cameras that you're under constant surveillance, where these cameras are tracking people's movements. They're tracking where you're going, what you're doing, where you're coming from. Yep. And there has to be a balance between safety, between, you know, the public safety versus the right to privacy. Yeah. And obviously you have a reasonable expectation of privacy in your communications. You have a reasonable expectation of privacy in certain things. You don't necessarily have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the open, in the public. So when your vehicle is driving down the road, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy to where your vehicle goes. However, if you're being constantly surveilled by the government, there has to be a line that's drawn. And on top of that, now we have the government engaging in surveillance using techniques to follow you that is greater than just them observing you. They're using computers, using cameras, and they're using databases. They're using a series of cameras to track, follow you, store this data, and then make a Fourth Amendment stop, which is triggering your constitutional rights.
Right.
So we have these constitutional issues that are arising as a result of these flock cameras. So that's what the issues that are arising with the surveillance that we're under with these flock cameras. And then you have the issue of misuse. Yeah. Because whenever you have technology, you have people who are going to use it for nefarious reasons. Yep. And there's already a significant amount of people in law enforcement in other states, probably within this state, who are using these cameras to engage in stalking. People who have access to the cameras who are stalking ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, loved ones to say, hey, where's my ex going? What's she doing? Yeah. And now they're misusing these cameras. And the reason that they have the ability to do it is because you have this technology. Yeah. So there has to be a limit on technology. Look, the Patriot Act. That's where you really started with 9/11 when you had this allowing surveillance. When the surveillance started for a good reason, we wanted to be safe. We didn't want terrorist acts to happen on our soil.
That's right.
But at what point in time do your civil rights give way to the right to be free and safe?
Well, I tell you, remember too, back with the FEMA. Remember FEMA with the hurricanes? They said, "Oh, there's a Trump sign in that yard. We're going to skip that house. We're not going to give them the benefits or whatever they were doing back then." Remember? So when you have an administration like we went through 4 years with Sleepy Joe, that's where it gets real scary because these people are authoritarians. They are fascist. I mean, these people literally, they call Trump that. No, we're all about rights and freedom of everything. These guys, they used a Trump sign in somebody's yard to penalize them.
Yeah. Well, one step, COVID. I mean, it's really, it starts with, hey, are we going to give up our rights to, to go out in public because I don't want to get sick or I don't want to get sick? It's the same thing. At what extent are you willing to give up your civil rights to be safe? At what extent are you willing to give up your right of privacy to make sure that, law enforcement is conducting what they want to do? Look, at the end of the day, these flock cameras have been used in immigration to make sure people aren't coming over the borders illegally, used by ICE to stop people from being in our country illegally. We talk about, we want that enforcement, right? Yep. We want our borders safe. But to what end? Do we want our civil liberties taken away?
It's a balance.
And it's a balance. So,
there's no doubt.
And that's where the courts get involved.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't like either is these people that just want to drive slow in the fast lane on the left-hand side of the road. I got a clip for that, too, because they're cracking down on that, I guess. I'll ask the attorney here in a moment. But, yeah, check
The
this
reason I'm pulling you over is from driving slow in the left lane.
Can't just stay in the left lane.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The left lane is for passing only, not for camping out. Florida Statute 316-081 requires you to vacate the left lane to allow other vehicles to pass.
You're required to move over, not make them move over.
You're driving, cause reckless driving of other drivers, and it becomes very dangerous because of what
So
you're
anyways,
doing.
yeah, man, that's because what happens is people, they start speeding around, they get upset, and this person's camping out in that left lane, and they go around, and then they end up causing an accident up there. Somebody speeds up, and then you get into a race, and then you get into
you're passing
road
on the right
rage.
side. You're
Yep.
dealing with nonsense. I got a 16-year-old who I'm trying to teach to drive the right way.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do it in Florida because people don't know a lot of times how to drive.
Yeah.
And they're driving too slow in the left lane. They're passing on the right side. And I'm glad law enforcement's cracking down to the extent where the left lane is the passing lane. It's not the slow lane. Yeah. And really, that's been the law. Yeah. Now the Highway Patrol is actually enforcing that law. Yeah. But what does that lead to now? That leads to more traffic stops. That leads to law enforcement conducting traffic stops and, I smell something.
There you go.
What do I smell? I smell marijuana.
Yeah.
We've had litigation in the state of Florida now regarding marijuana searches. The odor of marijuana is not enough to search your vehicle now in the state of Florida alone.
Really?
You need something more. So now in the state of Florida,
because they can have a permit, right? Is that?
Yes. So since marijuana is legal in the state of Florida, you can't drive high.
Okay.
So if law enforcement believes that you're recently smoking marijuana, they see clues of impairment, and they believe you're driving high, they can engage in a DUI investigation or a high investigation.
Forgot their eye drops. Their eyes are red.
Without a doubt. So you can't drive high. But they can't just search your vehicle now based on odor alone. Now, if they see the presence of marijuana that's in your vehicle that isn't medicinally prescribed, you can't just because you have a marijuana prescription doesn't mean you can go buy a blunt from a guy on the side of the road and roll it up. I mean, you have to buy it medicinally prescribed from a marijuana distillery or something.
Oh yeah, you got to play within the means of the system.
Without a doubt, you can't go to your street pharmacist, right? You got to go to the guy who legally sells it, your pharmacist, with the prescription and do it properly. But if law enforcement stops you based upon the odor alone, they can't now search your vehicle.
Okay.
They need something more in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
But the traffic stop in the left lane, the traffic stop because of the flock camera.
Yeah.
What does it do? It allows law enforcement the ability to get into your vehicle to search. It allows them the ability to then, get around to make that first contact with you, to make the inquiry. Have you been drinking? Is there something in your vehicle? Is there another reason that we can engage in an additional encounter?
Let me switch gears. I want to go to voting because this is on my screen here. This was up in Minnesota, freaking nuts. So the controversial voter law vouching law faces renewed scrutiny after viral. So this is your boy James O'Keefe and Cam Higby, and he's going in there. They're going in there, and they are and it's the voting. So to vote, you can vouch for up to like 8 people. Oh yeah, he lives in the district. He's good. I know him. He lives here. And so essentially they're caught inside a Minneapolis polling booth. O'Keefe dressed in garb and Boca that said they can vouch for up to 8 unregistered voters without an ID, allowing them to vote in Minnesota primary elections. It's unbelievable, man.
So that's crazy. How it works now. Vote by vouch.
Vouching, yeah, that you don't have to show, I guess. But then the article does say that they're supposed to ask for an ID at some point. I think I read that somewhere. But if you're all in the same district, you are all registered. You can vouch for them as an ID.
That's great.
So not asking for an ID.
I vouch for you. It's like the Italian way. It's like I vouch for this guy. Yeah, he's good. He's good. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
As an Italian, I can say that. I got you.
Yeah, unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
It's
he's
pretty
one of us,
crazy.
He's one of you.
Yeah. So voter roll scrutiny escalates in Minnesota as biggest counties face sweeping records demands. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays
crazy.
out. Now we've got the gubernatorial lineup here, David Jolly, who I was just reading about. It looks like he's coming after guns even stronger now. David Jolly versus Byron Donalds, who we just interviewed last week.
We've had a good 8 years. We've had a good run. It's been very good in the state of Florida. People come here for a reason.
That's right.
Let's just hope people who come here don't want to change what we have here. And they came here because of how good things are. Let's not change it and make it what they came here for, right? They came
exactly.
Here because it's good. Don't make it what it was.
Yeah.
And you left there, right?
Yeah.
Because it's great here. let's keep it the way it is.
That's like the radical that got elected, or that one up in Jacksonville district. She's a DSA candidate. She beat the other guy, and the other guy had spent like $17-18 million, and she raised less than $1 million. Yeah. So he outspent her 17-1, but somehow she still ended up winning in Jacksonville. But and then she's going to get smoked by Ashley Moody, though.
Well, yeah, you look at some of what's going on the other side. I mean, a lot of the left has gone really, really, really left.
Yes.
And the more centrist candidates have not done well. You see it with been here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but that's only flying up in New York and Minnesota and maybe California.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be much of a stronghold throughout moderate states, purplish or red states, obviously. And then you got people like Fetterman, who seems to be at least a common sense guy.
That guy's really making a run for the middle.
Yeah, he is,
and he makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be.
A lot of people, but yeah, that's how it used to be, right?
Yeah,
where people would disagree respectfully.
Yeah, where
just because you have a D or an R next to your name doesn't mean you can't get along and can't agree respectfully and come to a meeting in the middle.
That's right.
I wish the world was more like that. And that's a guy who really started out really far to the left and has really come to the middle because of he's being rational.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Quick break, right back. More with criminal defense attorney Anthony Rickman here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, the RickmanLawFirm.com, ConsumerQB.com. Quick break, right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. That's ConsumerQB, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, we got a new listing here at Highway 441 in Ocala. We've got this land. It's 5.38 acres. This is a great opportunity to buy land in Ocala, cleared and offered direct access to 441, offers exciting possibilities. We've got about a dozen or so vacant land parcels. Anybody out there looking to buy and build and want to have some land? We've got commercial land, residential land. Reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show online at ConsumerQB.com. All right, so we're talking with Anthony Rickman. A lot of good stuff, a lot of great topics to get into, man. What else are you seeing out there?
A lot of stuff. One of the things to talk about, is AI, the internet. We see the internet. One of the things, I go on my Instagram, and what I see is all these lawyers like popping up.
Yeah.
And who are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, I get this guy from Texas, guy from out of state, and they're giving like anecdotal stuff. And one of the things to tell people, be careful what you hear, what you read, what you see on these clips from lawyers on the internet.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are. You don't know what advice they're giving. You don't know what they're saying to be accurate. So be careful what you see and what you hear and what you read on the internet, whether it be AI, whether it be on these Instagram clips, whether it be on Facebook. There are a lot of people who I see are Instagram lawyers, Facebook lawyers, who can do great sound bites, can put things up there on the internet, can put these great little plugs on Facebook and Instagram, these little skits, whatever it may be, and you don't know what their qualifications are, how good of a lawyer they are, how good of what their record is, what they can do in a courtroom, or what they can do or what they have done. Just because they can hit a good promo like a wrestler can, in a ring, doesn't mean they're a good lawyer.
Well, that's the same thing too with Bilzerian. Remember the Dan Bilzerian guy? He was running for Congress, I think. But they said the point was he was an internet marketer and he was this huge nationwide personality, but it didn't equate into getting a victory in a local district, because in law, if he's a California lawyer or a Texas lawyer, it's not going to be the same information as in Florida, right?
No, without a doubt. And I go on Instagram or I go on Facebook and my feed, because I'm a lawyer, I guess I don't have public seeing it too, but I'm flooded with these different guys who are, with the microphone in front of their face and their rings and their jackets, and they sit up there and they're like giving advice. I'm like, tell you about my best lawyer skills. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of local guys doing it too. But when you're looking for a lawyer and you're seeking an attorney, make sure you're not just going out there and hiring an internet lawyer who's going to give good plugs and give good promos. I mean, at the end of the day, you want a lawyer who's going to do the best for you. So do your research. Make sure that you're hiring a lawyer who understands the law, is experienced in that field, not just somebody who cut a good promo on the internet.
And what do you look for? What would be a key to look for?
Look for somebody who knows how to handle the case. And what I would tell you, interview that lawyer.
Yeah.
Go out and talk to them.
Okay.
Get a consultation. If you've been arrested or accused of a crime, call my office. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to pick up that phone no matter what time of the day it is, what time of the night it is. You're going to call me. You're either going to get a phone consultation or I'm going to see you in my office.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break it down to you what to expect, what's going to happen, and I'm going to give you a plan of how my representation is going to occur, and I'm going to stick to that plan, and we're going to execute that plan.
Right.
At the end of the day, just because someone talks a big game on the internet or gives you these big lines on Instagram or Facebook, they got to be able to execute it. And with our firm, we're going to be able to do that for you.
And you also mentioned earlier AI, because some people are going to AI asking them legal questions. What's the cautionary tale there?
And that's the other thing too I'll talk about is that your Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, these internet services are not lawyers. Do not go to them to think that you can be a lawyer. I had a case yesterday. I'm representing a client, and there's a pro se party on the other side, and they filed a response, and it's clearly an AI written response. I'm like, wow. You can't represent yourself. Wow. And AI is not a lawyer. AI is not your lawyer. So be careful. And then the other thing, if you have a lawyer, whether it's me, another law firm, there are good lawyers in this area. There are great lawyers in this area. It was me or somebody else. Do not rely on AI. Don't ask AI legal questions.
Yeah.
It is open discovery. You do not have attorney-client privilege between yourself and Claude or between yourself and ChatGPT. The state attorney's office, law enforcement, can give you a search warrant or a subpoena for your AI history, for your search history. Wow. They can subpoena or get a warrant for the questions that you ask your AI.
Yeah.
And they can use it against you.
Yeah.
Be careful. Be smart. I know prosecutors are doing it to this day, and they're using it against defendants.
Like O.J. Simpson. How do I hide the glove? If the glove does not acquit,
no, where do I bury your body? How do I dispose of your body? It's crazy
what
stuff.
happens if the glove doesn't fit?
Go back. Yeah, you must acquit. TheRickmanLawFirm.com. Check him out online. TheRickmanLawFirm.com. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. All right, good stuff today. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thomas King on the front end, Anthony Rickman, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.